welcome back with another banger. It's the React Files. Hope you having a good night. Let's get straight to it.
Let me tell y'all a true story. Be boom, watch this video to the end. Something is going on in Australia. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Let's go.
Yo, we're straight up. Oh my god.
What the?
Okay.
What is this?
This is really dangerous. Oh my god.
It's not a game.
Something come out of nowhere and it bite me. Oh my god, right? Oh my god, Ash is getting my eyes. It's bad.
Are you kidding me? Red skies? They're saying this is in Australia. Is that normal? Because to me, that's not normal at all. Stop playing with me, son. This video is for entertainment purposes only, and that must be a fake video, because that's not real. There's no way that the sky could ever be that red. That must have been a red screen instead of a green screen. Shh. Shut up! What you think? Special effects? Shh, don't you say it. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game out here, guys. You see what's going on out there. I never thought I would say this. Get out of Australia now. Shh. Shut up! What you thought? There was only kangaroos there? Not anymore. The skies are red. You know why? It was tired of being blue. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game out here, guys. And you see what time it's in. I love Australia. I'm just playing around, guys. You ain't gotta go nowhere. Ain't nothing going on over there. Shh. Shut up! But I tell you one thing. If I ever come outside in New York State and the whole sky is red, I'm just gonna get on my knees like, forgive me, Lord, please.
Yo, what was that? Thinking it's Cap and it's someone doing a video with AI. I guess that's what I'm hoping. Shout out to True Story 718. Shout out to Australia.
Hey guys, this is Spiritual Ghost Hunter Aggie. I'm in this amazing warehouse and just looking for clothes, vintage. Everything here is vintage. There's so much stuff here you don't know where to start. So when you guys come, make sure you wear gloves and wear something warm. There are hats, there are sweaters, shirts, and they working on cleaning it, so you know, to organizing it. But everybody that comes here, they make a mess. So, you know. Hey guys, this is Spiritual Ghost Hunter Aggie. I'm in the warehouse and just looking for clothes, vintage. Hey guys, this is Spiritual Ghost Hunter Aggie. I'm in this amazing
Follow me for your dose of nightmare fuel.
It ain't no way we been getting finessed like this, y'all. And China just exposed it all. So boom, Americans out here dropping 800, 1200, and even 4,000 and more on designer clothes, thinking it's all luxury, all high quality clothes, the high end stuff. But China just pulled the curtain back and showed the world that most of the stuff is made in the same factories with material that costs a fraction of the price. So we're talking shoes that cost $30 to make, but it's being sold in US for $700. And we're talking hoodies that cost $10 to make, that's being sold for over $300. And jeans that cost $50 to make, that's being sold for $500 to $1,000. That's not high end. That's robbery. Y'all, and this is the crazy thing. This is not even new. A lot of people just been blind to it. They think it just because it got a fancy label, that means it costs more. In reality, that just means the markups is better. China basically said, here y'all go. Now y'all better act like you know. And now everybody mad. They not mad at China. They mad at the brands that been overpricing this stuff they've been buying. They mad at the brands that they've been worshiping. See a sucker, lick a sucker, no diddy. They seeing now, they were never buying quality. They were buying status. And they finally waking up. All of this happened because of this tariffs. People would have never knew. Or some people was really too blind to even noticed the fact. But now everything is front and center for everybody to see. So if you one of them people that dropped the check on this designer shit and now you feel played, let me know down below in the comments. Let's talk about it.
Yes, Sway, we definitely been getting finessed. Shout out to Zay Reacts. I mean, a lot of us already knew, for real. But buying $2 bags from China and selling it for 15 grand is highway robbery.
We have some amazing footage coming out of America, coming from a user called Jerome Munoz. I probably butchered his name, but watch this, okay? Listen to their reaction, and this thing fires some sort of cloud as well. And here's an AI overview of detecting if this is a AI generated video or not. So there you go. Let's listen.
That's weird.
What?
Oh?
No way!
I got on video.
When you see something like this for the first time in your life, it changes everything that you've been brought up around, man. Orb in nature. We've seen these bad boys all over the world. So with the AI overview, it says here specifically AI generation probability 6%. So this is authentic, baby. So I asked it to give me an origin hypothesis, okay? And right here it says natural phenomena 20%. No thunderstorm, unlikely to be ball lightning. Too sustained and stable for meteor, insect or camera flaring. Human made. 12%. No visible rotor beacon or sound, doesn't match drones, flares or spotlights, lacks structure casing or known aerospace signature. Non-human surveillance orb, 68%. Self-illuminated, hovering smooth motion, silent and resistant to wind, right? Often reported near wilderness bases during quiet EM conditions. Interesting. Consistent with global orb surveillance reports linked to Dulce, Pine Gap, Nazca and ley line intersections. What? And here's your final overview. Real video, yes, 94% confident. AI generated, no, 6% chance or less. Man-made object, unlikely, 12%. Right? NHI Orbcraft, strong candidate, 68%. Natural anomaly, possibly, but very rare, 20%. Make of that of what you will. Go check out Jerome Munoz's video. It's hella interesting, man.
That is very interesting. It's fascinating. Shout outs to Interstellar Discussion. That toolbox he got is a fool. Yo, this man is ahead of his time right now. My whole thing is, what was that circle that was drifting away from the light?
Okay, I'm gonna show you the capsule that we have been training in for the last few days. Here I am. Seat number 2. This is my call name, Feather. Here on the New Shepherd. I think I'm gonna sing. I'm gonna sing a little bit. I gotta sing in space. And these are all of my astronaut girly friends. We are the Taken Up Space crew. I do believe this. I'm not gonna say I can't believe I'm here. I do believe this because I think that believing your dreams and saying that is actually how you make your dreams come true.
In 1985, he got arrested because he was printing in magazines that he cures AIDS and sickle cell and cancer.
Yep.
And they like, that's false advertisement, that's malpractice of medicine, all type of thing. He wasn't no doctor. He just used herbs and his understanding of herbs.
Right.
And he went to trial in New York. And he proved in the state of New York, on record, that he said, bring me y'all AIDS patients from y'all doctors. He treated them while he was on trial. He said, now have y'all doctors test him. The same was diagnosing with AIDS, had him test him. 77 patients was cured of AIDS on record.
See?
In 1985 by his herbs.
See
Why
that?
we ain't never heard that? Why that ain't been on TV? They got a Tupac and Biggie, the 55th documentary they made about the Tupac and Biggie murder. Why we ain't seen no doc on that? What's to me is the story is that he went to trial against the state of New York and won. Then the feds indicted him. And he went to trial against the feds and won. You know what I mean? And the judge even said like, oh yeah, you know, my whole life I wanted to change the world. But I just ended up being a judge. But today I'm gonna find you not guilty and change the world. That was her statement at the end of the whole trial. By finding him not guilty, she gets to impact the world. And yeah, we ain't never heard that story. You gotta search for that.
These are all Templar forts that got fortified during the Revolutionary War. Just look how high the cornerstone is. They got all these windows filled in. This right here is a different kind of brick from right here. This brick right here on this tower is older brick. They extended this building back and converted it to a church. Just look at the 4 or 5 blocks right above that cornerstone with that fresh concrete right in there, right? That fresh cement that they used. They pulled this cornerstone and replaced it. This is a Templar fort that was used in the Revolutionary War. This is Van Schiak Island in Cohoes and Simmons Island. There's 2 islands right here in the middle of Cohoes. They were used during the military war. This is a military encampment. And the whole city was fortified. These are forts that were used in war. They're lying about the dates on these buildings. Just look up there. You can see how that tie right there extends behind that. They added this whole section right here. Right here, they extended it. That right there, that tie is going to look just like that permanently all the way across. There's another window underneath that. It's going to match. They built all these buildings symmetrical. They added this roof in the cross. This is a fort. Van Schiak Island, military encampment, 1777, all right? 5,000 to 8,000 continental soldiers were brought here. They messed with all the dates. I showed you how Harim and Solomon formed an alliance, and they put George Washington into position and laid the cornerstone. That was all funded by Solomon. Harim, Solomon, okay, they formed an alliance. They helped fund George Washington and the Continental Army. That's why Harim, Solomon laid the cornerstone in the United States Capitol in Jerusalem. Right, and here's Continental and Rensselaer. I showed you Stephen Van Rensselaer was a 33-degree Grand Master, just like George Washington was a Freemason, right? And he ran the Continental Army, who was funded by King Solomon. King Solomon was married to the Queen of Egypt. You guys want to know where we are in the biblical timeline? Egypt attacks Judah. I showed you the Judah temples in Troy, New York, okay? I showed you how King Solomon built the Washington Capitol building. And he was married to the Queen of Egypt, and he funded the Continental Army. Where do you think they came from? That was Egypt attacking Judah, all right? And all these temples, I showed you Asher Levi down in Albany, the first Jew, Asher of Judah, who reigned in Judah, right? He built fortified cities. And these are the fortified cities that they built. You could see they added the stone all up to this. They put in all these windows. The clock towers are second editions. I showed you Watervliet, New York the other day, the oldest active arsenal in the country. We put out 65,000 bells during World War II. They were all second editions to these towers. These towers were all used in warfare. The Revolutionary War was Egypt attacking Judah. Now, the Civil War would have been the split of upper and lower Israel. The United States is Israel. They got everybody looking overseas. The United States is the homeland. Camp Van Schiak, Continental Army, all right? 1777. Who do you think funded all this? King Solomon and Harim formed an alliance. I just showed you the Van Schiak Island in Cohoes. This is the bridge coming into Troy where all the Judah temples are. These are their markers right here. I showed you Powers Park was a Masonic square, the old Masonic city square with that key line on it. All these videos and all these cities are going to connect. I'm going to lay it all out for you guys with scripture. All right, so this is the bridge going into Van Schiak. You can see they concreted and cemented the inside of these arches. These were wide open arcs right here. So look, they put big stone blocks in them to block the flow of ether through these. I got to go down here to explain it to you. It's too loud right here. Right, so you have the pillar column right here that got bricked in, that arc right there. Just like over here. Down there you have that one built underneath there on every single column except for right here because they took this one out. When you have sunlight hitting water, 2 different elements coming together in harmony like this, it creates ether, okay? And the flow of the ether is going to go through them arcs because those are gates right there that they had to close off to stop the flow of ether. These buildings, all these light posts right here on these bridges, they were all powered from the ether before they put your copper lines through the ground, okay? What do you call your Ethernet cable for your computer? An Ethernet cable. Part of this bridge column right here is missing. They never even had to barricade around it. These columns were just in the water like this, set up to create current. This is how forces of nature work to come together to create force or life force, and these civilizations were harnessing it. It's all electric, magnetic, wireless telecommunications. The same thing that Tesla rediscovered from the pyramids, all them pillar columns underneath the pyramids I've been telling you about that hold quartz in them. That's why they had copper wires around all the columns. What do you think powered all this and connected it all? And they had to take the top of the caps of the pyramid off, and it's in the Mason Hall in the city. What do you think powered the tops of all these buildings? It was the pyramids. The pyramids are what pushed the ether. They generated ether in the atmosphere, the ionosphere, all the way up. Everyone keeps asking me, where do I get all this information? Okay, I am literally 3 generations of artisan stonemasons on one side. The other side, my great-great-grandfather was the grandmaster. Okay? I'm literally the oldest great-great-grandson of the grandmaster. You're not going to be able to disprove me on any of this. And no, I am not a Freemason. I'm a Christian.
Whoa. Shocking new discovery. I knew one side of his family did Mason work, but I didn't know the other side of the family was, yo. Shout out to Indios 369. Bro, like in my mind, in my brain, I'm like, yo, the dude gotta be capping. Then he started showing those towers on the bridge. For some reason, it just started to make sense. Now, I heard something about the Grand Canyon, Egypt being out there, and then you think about Memphis. So it's like saying Jesus was in America.
What about slavery and like that?
Oh, slavery never happened.
What?
It never happened. They say it never happened. It never happened. Listen, all they did was they defeated the Moors. Well, after they like backdoored the Moors and like that, they act like slavery happened. So they killed everybody and then woke you up and told you, you free. They woke you up and told you was free, but you was never a slave. Oh, and they stole 4,000 years when they was at it. You don't know. But when we woke up, all the noses was shot off, the city was different. But you was so stupid because they told you that all these pyramids was built by only had rocks and bricks and like this. So you was just stupid. They just told you that shit. You went for it.
So who built the pyramids?
Yeah. Technology been around. They just give it to you a little bit at a time because they stole 4,000 years. Right? So if I steal 4,000 years, I give it to you a little bit at a time. That's why you like get the iPhone, the 13 come out, next thing the 14. Like the fuck, I ain't used the 13 yet because they got 30 of them done already. Right. Shout out to Elon Musk.
So
yeah, the world in a tree.
So
tell y'all true story. Boom, watch this video to the end. Time is running out. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Let's go.
This is literally shining in my bedroom window. Am I the only one that see this? Yo, am I the only one that see this?
It's not a game.
I just finished praying and I look out my window and this is what I see. I've never seen it like this before. This is nutty. Y'all look at that. This is great. Do y'all see what I see?
Did you see that? What was that? I don't know. It's giving me good vibes. Was that a sign from the Most High? I don't know. And you don't know either. Stop playing with me, son. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I don't know who that woman was and what that was in the sky. Who's there to say that was real? Shh. Shut up! Remember, he said there's gonna be signs in the skies and the end times. Shh. Shut up! But come on, let's be real. We got all the time in the world. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game out here, guys, and you know what time is it. Pay attention. It's happening, whether you want it to happen or not. This is letting us know that we don't got much time left. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game in these streets, now. You know what time is it. But I tell you one thing. If I ever go outside at night, late night, I look up in the sky, and I see a cross glowing, forgive me for all my sins.
Forgive me for all my sins. Shout out to True Stories 718. I was questioning if it was real or not. Like it could have been AI. I ain't gonna lie. If I go out my house and see a star like that, I'm doing the same exact thing.
When it comes to oil, crude oil, oh, I got they ass now. Check this out. I watched this video and I'm about to show y'all this video. And you gonna watch this video. After I watched the video, y'all know me, I went to work. And as I started to put the pieces together, they didn't add up. And so by the end of this video, we're gonna have one question and one question only. Why did they lie to us? The question is not gonna be where oil comes from. We're gonna figure that out. The only question left is gonna be, why did they lie to us? And I think it's because they didn't want us to understand the magic behind it.
هذا جعل الأرض كروية. احنا راح نتكلم في حدود معينة، هو حدود العلم. إذا قلنا أن الأرض كروية، الكرة معروفة حدودها ومعروفة قاراتها وخلاص، حدودها. لكن عندما نقول أن الأرض عظيمة ممتدة وحدودنا التي علمنا هي هذه القارات، لكن هل هناك غيرنا؟ نعم، هناك غيرنا في هذه الأرض. الذي يسمونه القطب الجنوبي لا يوجد شيء اسمه قطب جنوبي، بل هو جوانب الأرض. ما بعد الجليد توجد بوابة عظيمة جدا الدول العظمى على علم بها، والبوابة تطل على أرض أخرى هي حضارات أخرى، منها يأجوج ومأجوج. وللعلم البترول اللي هو النفط الخام، كرود اويل، اللي موجود في أراضينا هو أنهار عندهم، هو بالنسبة لهم أنهار تجري يدخل في تحت الأرض في باطن الأرض حتى يصل إلى أراضينا. ليس البترول هي بقايا حيوانات أو عظام أو ديناصورات من الخرافات اللي الناس مصدقتها، كلها بقايا نباتات قديمة جدا. لا، البترول أنهار في أرضهم تجري حتى تدخل في باطن الأرض إلى أرضنا.
My man just said there is a gate that the elites know about that leads to another land. By now we already know that. But he said the land of Gog and Magog is where we're getting our crude oil from. So you telling me there is a land beyond the ice wall that has flowing crude oil as their water the same way we do? Expand your mind. Imagine our water goes somewhere else and seeps into another world. And then they take it and use it for like steam. And they're using our water over there as steam, and that's like their energy source, and they're selling it for $4 a gallon. You get what I'm saying? And they're telling their citizens, oh yeah, it's when the rocks get compressed underneath, they liquefy and we use it, when really it's water from another land beyond the wall. Now let me explain something we never thought about. We always see this crude oil, right? But we never thought about it critically. Like, what is it?
Boy, I'm a rich man. And look what's coming out of the ground. I cannot believe it.
Oil produced per second in Kuwait. Have you ever wondered how such a large amount of oil was formed? Many people believe that oil comes from the bodies or fossils of dinosaurs, but this is not true. Petroleum is formed when the remains of ancient aquatic organisms that deposited on the ocean floor are transformed into crude oil by the Earth's heat and pressure. Occasionally, this crude oil seeps to the surface through cracks in the ground, forming oil pools.
Crude oil is extracted from the ground and heated to 370 degrees Celsius. Then, it is poured into a tube called a distillation column, where it evaporates and turns into vapor. The lighter molecules rise to the top, while the heavier molecules remain at the bottom. At the very top is petroleum gas, which is used to fill cylinders. Below that is gasoline, which is also known as petrol. After that comes naphtha, which is used to make plastic. Just below it is paraffin, which is used to make kerosene. After that, we get diesel. Then comes fuel oil, which is used in factories. After that, we get lubricating oil.
Come from. Crude oil is a fossil fuel, meaning that it's made from ancient organic matter, like plants and animals. Fossil fuels can come in a few different forms, like coal, petroleum, natural gas, and oil. Which one of them you get depends on the type of fossil it's made of, the temperature of the heat it cooked in, and the amount of pressure. It generally begins millions of years ago in warm, shallow bodies of water. Organic materials like algae and plankton would die and sink to the bottom. And there they get mixed with inorganic material, creating a very rich...
All right, just stop. We get the point. We heard our entire life. It's organic plant material. It's pressed underneath the earth. You heard everybody, man. It's pressed down, pressure, millions and millions of years, heat causes the bones and the sediment to come together, and then that creates the oil, right? Check this out. That's bullshit. My man is telling the truth. It's black river water from another land. And let me show y'all how I know this, because I always got the receipts. And all those PhD people, tell them to pull up. I'm about to crack this wide open. Let me cook. Petroleum has been used by hand for over 5,000 years. Really? How? Anyways, while crude oil was first pumped from the ground in China around 2,000 years, really, 2,000 years ago, what were they pumping it with? The first to use petroleum with its records and so on. Really, because it seemed, we thought it just came around recently, right? You saw all those things on TV, all those shows they showed you. Oh, oil struck in the sky, right? And what would you see? You would see oil, black oil shooting up in the sky. Edward Drake drills the first successful oil well in Pennsylvania. World's largest oil producer, right? Look, it seems like oil just came out. Meanwhile, they've been using it for thousands of years. Where did it come from? They tell you crude oil, liquid petroleum, is found accumulated in porous rock formations in the earth crust. How would you accumulate into porous rock? Ask yourself that. In order to accumulate into something that's porous, you need to be what? You need to be liquid. They keep on telling you that all these algae, these organic, they got compressed and then they heat. And then what? They just turned into a dark, watery liquid? I got you. Naturally formed crude oil, right? What does everybody think it is? Plankton and algae that died millions of years ago. They tell you it's microorganisms. He's buried underneath the sediment. Intense heat, look, the time, the hydrocarbons, all of it that further breaks down the oil into these gas. And look, the plankton and algae, they die, they sink to the ocean floor. Right there, as soon as I thought about that, I said, that's a lie. That's bullshit. You know how I know that's a lie? Because I know lobsters are actually built, and shrimp, and there's other sea life. Everything that's dwelling down there, even the mantis rays, all of those bottom sea dwelling creatures, all of them down there, their design is to clean up the ocean. You can even go watch on YouTube right now what happens to a whale when it sinks to the bottom of the ocean. A whale will sink to the bottom of the ocean and not a bit of the whale will be wasted. Everything down to eels, everything will eat every single bit of the whale up all the way. Now, they want to tell you that oil was made from plankton and algae, and that's false. And unfortunately, I'm running out of time in this video, and I actually have to make a number 2. Stick around. I'm gonna finish busting this joint wide open, because oil is not what you think it is, and it does not come from where you think it comes from. Watch me cook.
I'm not even gonna lie. I never even questioned it. Shout out to Papa Miller 31. Definitely opened my eyes up with this one. When he was describing that whale, it started to make a lot of sense. I'm definitely looking forward to part 2, so I want to see what land it's coming from. It definitely makes you wonder.
They told us to be scared of TikTok giving our data to China. But y'all, a former executive that worked for Meta turned whistleblower just said that the same thing they've been telling us about TikTok giving data to China, she said that Meta was doing that. But worse, her name is Sarah Wynn Williams. She was a former head of policies at Meta. She dropped this book, y'all, exposing all the little dirty secrets. And guess what? Allegedly, Mark Zuckerberg tried to get this book wiped off the face of Earth. He tried to get her silenced, allegedly. She said after she left the company, they even hit her with a non-disparagement clause, even getting her book banned temporarily because they seen how much traction that joint was gaining. So what's in the book? She claims that Meta tried to partner with the Chinese government, developing censorship tools and letting their AI model fall into the hands of the China military. She said Meta targeted teens based on how sad or how worthless they felt, then sold that pain to advertisers selling beauty filters or surgeries, all for a profit. So they had us worried about TikTok when it was Meta allegedly doing backdoor deals and even trying to silence whistleblowers. And as she said, Mark Zuckerberg tried to bury the truth. So now with all that being said, I need y'all to drop y'all thoughts down below. Who's the biggest threat? Meta or TikTok? And if this is all true, should Mark Zuckerberg be held accountable?
Katt Williams, you betrayed us. Remember, it all started when you was exposing the industry on the Shay Show. And when you was doing comedy, always exposing the truth. But what I want to know is, what is this? Huh? Now you went from exposing the industry to working with the industry? I'm confused. This was for GQ. What is this, bro? And I know what that chain means. People are saying that Katt Williams is a warlock. But to be honest with you, I don't believe that at all. Out of all the outfits you could have wore, why this one? Why this one? What's up with that hat? What is going on here, Katt? I thought you was on our side. I thought you was here to wake people up. But it seems like you went back to sleep. Now, I got no problems with Katt Williams. I'm not here to discredit him or anything. He's a funny person. He's a great comedian. But I don't like when people switch sides without ordering an extra side of fries. What I want to know is, why would the industry want to work with somebody exposing the industry? Something's going on here, guys. People are saying that he's a controlled opposition. People are saying that. I didn't say nothing. But I just think that he's just playing his position. Shh! Shut up! This video is for entertainment purposes only. I like Katt Williams. I'm just trying to understand, why did he switch up on us so fast? I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. I'm out of here.
Oh man, I think he went back to sleep. Shout out to True Story 718. These photos are from the GQ magazine, and I'm afraid this man might be right. We've been betrayed.
So I've been doing what I do best and snooping around NASA and things of that nature, and I come across this image from the STS-039 mission of a strange photo with an object hovering around the background, okay? And this is a Space Shuttle Discovery mission STS-039 flown in April 1991. The mission was a Department of Defense classified mission. Interesting. Look at that, mate. So looking at this image deeper, I'll leave a link down below so you guys can view this yourself on the NASA websites, of this strange triangular formation. So I then put this with all the information surrounding this image into our toolkit we developed, and let's see what it gives us. So I asked it with my toolkit, scan this photo of this object. It's from the STS-039 mission, okay, and ask it, is it human-made or something more? And it came back with this. The object has a triangular delta-like shape with clear geometric symmetry. It appears to be solid with shading indicating it's catching light, suggesting it's not a glitch or a lens artifact. Positioned high in the atmosphere, above cloud layers, possibly caught in orbital observation range. So the mission context is above there to do with this image, if you want to read through that. So right now it says, human-made black project aircraft, most plausible within the known frame. Shape resembles early stealth aircraft, possibly a test version of the TR-3A Black Manta or the TR-3B, a rumoured black triangle reconnaissance aircraft, and people have reported seeing this craft all around the world for years and years and years, okay? STS-039. Being a DoD mission, the shuttle may have been observing or assisting with tracking stealth craft during orbital overpass. The object fits known speculations around aerospace and black programs, particularly ones based in Groom Lake, Area 51 or similar ranges. Interesting. So then doing a geometric assessment, it came up with the object is a distinct isosceles triangle with slightly blurred nose. It appears to have a symmetrical profile and consistent thickness, suggesting a controlled craft rather than a debris floating through the air, okay? Key visual traits: dark underbelly with a slight sheen, possibly from metallic or composite surface. No visual propulsion or exhaust, which often is noted in sightings of the Black Project aircraft or high altitude recon drones. Orientation suggests it is gliding or hovering rather than tumbling, reinforcing the controlled flight hypothesis. Now, engineering possibilities. The geometry is common in stealth reconnaissance drones, low radar cross sections, concept aircraft in testing like the TR-3A Black Manta, rumoured to use advanced propulsion or electrogravitics. Okay, I probably butchered that, but there you go. High altitude deployable sensor packages through, they're usually less aerodynamically shaped. Why it was likely there? A classified DoD mission with known objectives involving infrared tracking and object surveillance. The presence of this object could suggest IR tracking experiments with stealth aircraft, calibration target for shuttle sensory payloads, a test to observe visibility under varied light wavelength conditions, and this mission was fired in 1991. Okay, no. Then I asked it, can you compare the object silhouette with known stealth aircraft, especially the rumoured TR-3A Black Manta, okay, the RQ-170 Sentinel and the conceptual TR-3B Astra, right? So it came up with this. Here's the silhouette overlay of a TR-3A-like aircraft aligned with the object from the STS-039 program, which is that, right? The result. The match is striking. The proportions and symmetry align well with the black triangle stealth designs, the TR-3A or the TR-3B. Its hovering orientation and isolated presence support the theory that this is not debris, but an engineered craft, very likely classified tech or experimental aerospace surveillance. So, using the toolkit and gathering all sorts of information and comparing it to all sorts of things, whether it's NHI or human-made, we know that it's saying A, it's human-made, B, it's not a random piece of debris that's just up in the atmosphere, and C, pretty damn sus. You guys let me know what you think, man.
This man got great detective skills. Shout outs to Interstellar Discussion. Kind of like the Pizza Hut logo.
Lost Tribes of Israel. This is right from the Jewish American Hall of Fame, alright? Asher Levi, the first Jewish settler in America, settled in New York. That's a dark-skinned man on that coin right there. He was awarded the coin in 1999 because he's the first Jew to settle in America. And you guys ever heard of Levi Jeans? Levi Strauss, a clothing manufacturer, won the award in 1979. That's another dark-skinned man on that coin. This is all I wear is Levi's. They make the best jeans in the world. If you go buy a pair of jeans, go buy a pair of Levi's. Here's another man, Uriah Levi. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but he was awarded it in 1988 and he served in the US Navy. If you're a dark-skinned man in America right now, you're either from the tribe of Levi or from the tribe of Judah. So now that leads us to the tribe of Judah. The tribe of Judah appointed the tribe of Levi in all the synagogues. If you're from the tribe of Levi, you're a priest in the synagogues, all these churches. That's where you're supposed to be placed at right now. This is a man right here, the lion of the tribe of Judah, kings of Ethiopia. He was the last throne holder of the Ethiopian Empire. You know who that man looks like right there? Kyrie Irving. And you remember they tried canceling him in the NBA for speaking out on this? Okay? I'm not even kidding. Kyrie Irving is from the tribe of Judah. It says right here in the article by amuseum.org on Asher Levi, until the Jews can recover their ancient rights and dominions and take their rank among the governments of the earth. This is their chosen country. Here they can rest with the persecuted from every clime, protected from tyranny, oppression, participating of equal rights and immunities. And the excerpt from the speech featured on the medal is encrypted with Noah. The civil war with the north and the south, that was the split of Israel. That all involved Judah. That's why all this got lost. All the dates got reset. 1,000 years got added to our timelines. I walked through all the structures, all the history, and all my other videos. Just go take a look at my page. Now, Solomon ended up with like a bunch of women, alright? He fell into sin with pagan women. This is how Judah fell into sin. It's safe to say that the other 10 tribes, they're most likely different races of people, because Solomon was out here just messing around with everybody. He was building temples for all these women. That's why there's all these pagan temples, all these different pagan gods and all these deities in these temples that are all built the same architecture. They're all from Solomon spending his money on these women. He was known to have a fleet of ships. He was worldwide at this point.
Solomon was out here. Shout outs to Indios 369. Ain't gonna lie, Levi's are the best jeans.
Did you know that everything they told you was wrong? They told you the body need food 3 times a day. But did you know that ain't what it need? Do you know that ain't what it need? That's gonna make it too heavy to carry. And it's gonna make you sick. It's gonna put a parasite in your body. Do you know when you hungry, you go growling? It's a parasite. Your stomach not growling because it's hungry. It wants more of that poison. Yeah, food was the first drug.
Facts.
A lot of people don't know. You got some food?
So, what do you say about like?
Peace, fam. Let's get back into this oil. So basically, we never realized that oil was just like this watery substance that ran in the ground, right? And now, in my last video, Homeboy basically broke down where oil came from. And he told us it came from Gog Magog. Basically, another planetary system outside of our system, and their water was just leaking into our area, and we're just drilling down. And when we drill down, we're just running into their water, calling it oil, and then selling it off like it's this magical stuff made out of plant matter and sediment. And that's not true. Watch this. Gog and Magog represent a powerful, malevolent force that will eventually attack God's people, with Gog being the leader of the land of Magog, and their defeat is a key part of the end times. You see, I find this to be very, very odd that this guy brought up this land, and this land that he speaks of seems to be a very, very dark land. Here it states, time of the Roman period, the gates of Alexander were erected by Alexander the Great to repel the tribe. Historian Jophus knew them as the nation descended from Magog, the Japhetites, as in Genesis. And as you read here, you see the Mongols and so on. It goes, the legend of Gog and Magog and the gates were also interpolated. And it says, Goth and Magathi are kings of unclean nations, whom Alexander drove through a mountain pass and prevented them crossing his wall. Gog and Magog are said to engage in human cannibalism. So it would seem like they put some kind of fake lore twist on some kind of ancient, evil, unclean nation that was ruled by Gog and Magog. Now let's remember, their water is this dark, black water. Remember when you watch Dune? Remember that fat guy? Remember where he was sitting in the whole time? Were they being symbolic of something? Were they being symbolic of something here? Was there like a hidden meaning to this, tied into Gog and Magog and this dark water that's flowing beneath the earth that they want us to believe is our own plant material? Personally, I don't think they did this by mistake. Personally, I think this is symbolic. This is where the story goes to hell. And this is why I'm going to tell you right now, oil does not come from here. It comes from another land outside of this realm. Because one, they had to lie to us about it. Plankton and algae that died millions of years ago, buried in these sediment, heat, pressure, creates oily water that we can use for different things. Let me show you what it is. Diatomaceous earth, which we all use, right? Peep game, what is it? Diatom. Fossilized, meaning what? Been in the earth already down there for millions of years. Look, single-celled algae. Diatomaceous earth consists of microscopic, silica-rich shells of diatoms that have accumulated over millions of years in fresh water. We collect this, we all use it. You use it in your garden, you use it to deworm your pets, you can use it for multiple things. Let me ask y'all the question. Has this algae, after millions of years, why hasn't it turned to fuel? I know everybody's gonna go, well, it didn't go all the way down into the earth somehow and then be pressed by pressure and then compressed with hot lava and heat. Still, watch me work. Diatom skeletons fossilized because their silica cell walls are highly resistant to decomposition. These fossilized skeletons are often found in deposits of diatomaceous earth. That's why we can get it so easily. Look, our microalgae that have silica glass-like cell walls. What is that? Algae is silica. Silica. Silica walls are extremely durable. Do not break down. Allow them to be preserved as fossils for long periods of time. What does that mean? That means after they break down their bones, their silica, that's it. They just sit and they chill like that for millions of years. There is no pressure that turns them into crude black oil all of a sudden. And you and I both know the diatoms are white. So how did you crush and heat this all the way up to some black matter? Again, they try to explain it to you and put it in your head. I'm going to unexplain it. That was algae. They said it was made out of algae and plankton. Look at the plankton. Do plankton have exoskeletons? Look. Exoskeleton forms highly intricate porous networks. This is what they look like. Settle to the bottom of lakes or oceans. Skeletons. Plankton. Just like the diatom algae, which is silica based, that I just showed you, plankton is the same thing. Actually, let me put you on to something. This is what whales are eating. Whales are eating plankton. Plankton ain't nothing but crystal. What you're looking at here is silica. Silica is crystal. When you look at crystal, you're looking at silica. This is a real crystal ball. This is silica. Do you know how you get crystal? I'm going to tell you how you get crystal. From heat and pressure underneath the earth. The silica does this. It don't turn into some black liquid oil. This is what whales eat. Plankton. They open their mouth, they eat this. They're eating crystals, they're pooping out crystals. This does not turn into petroleum. Why? Because I just proved to you that algae and plankton are both silica rich and have silica walls. So if that's the case, then let's go a step further. They break down into oil, right? Then petroleum should be rich in silica, right? All it is compressing and breaking down something that's silica, which should be turning into glass if anybody really knew anything about silica. But it's turning into a black watery liquid. Let's just see if petroleum has silica in it. No! Petroleum is not rich in silica. While silica is present in some rocks where petroleum is, it's not a primary petroleum is primarily composed of hydrocarbons, which are organic compounds made of carbon and hydrogen. Organic compounds made of carbon and hydrogen. Our water is made of oxygen and hydrogen, carbon and hydrogen. So what if the other planet, which is Gog Magog, their system is just a little bit flipped, and that's why their water is black and not clear? Because we got oxygen and hydrogen, but because they have carbon and hydrogen, and their water is, well, black, whatever, that's why their water looks the way it looks. That makes more sense, and that's why when we drill all the way down, and we get to this watery substance, and then it just comes gushing out. If this was sediment that was compressed and heated, and this, that, and the third, why isn't it just sitting there compressed like peat moss or any other layer? No, it just so happens to have this one juicy, black, watery running layer that everybody in every single country seems to be able to drill all the way down to the ground and tap? Stop playing with me. And you can see petroleum has no silica. So how is it made out of marine algae and plankton? And I just told y'all those are silica based. And for the people to be like, oh, under pressure. No, silica does not become carbon under normal. It's combined silica. Well, carbon is it's a separate element. Look, however, silica can be produced from silica by reducing it from carbon. Look, silicone. Like I said, they lied. There is no way to get this and this or this from these. Because you can't take silica and turn it to a carbon liquid-based substance. But when the mind's blind...
Shout out to Papa Miller 31, brought the science to the table. That's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Once he said it's like there's veins of it, I automatically started thinking of Mud Fossil University, Roger Spur. He just untaught what I was taught.
Tell y'all true story, Bisa Boom. Watch this video to the end. What's inside this container? This video is for entertainment purposes only. Let's go.
It's not just Jamaica, they be doing that shipping container shit.
No way.
See that?
What is that?
See that train?
I see it.
Container with a freezer on the back. Let me show you.
Come on!
It's a freezer on the back of that motherfucker. They got it parked right in the neighborhood where people can see it from the street.
No way. Shh.
See that?
I see it.
Listen to it. I don't even think it's a lock on that motherfucker, man.
Come on, man. What is that?
See, when shit intended for a certain area, this is what they do. They put it there. Just like this.
Who parked it there? What's inside that container? It has a freezer on it. And he said that the doors look open. But looking at that video, to me, it's closed. Stop playing with me, son. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I don't know what that guy was talking about. He said it was a shipping container that stopped out of nowhere. How do you know it stopped out of nowhere? It must have parked. You probably wasn't living home. Shut up! Get ready, guys. He said it. It's not only in Jamaica. Things are just popping off and stopping by anywhere. I guess there must have been traffic on those train tracks. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game on here, guys, and you know what time is it. Shut up! I never seen that before. A train with a freezer on it in a container? What the? Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game on here, guys, and you know what time is it. Nah, I'm just playing around, guys. Probably was full of ice cream. You know, dairy products and things like that. Shut up! But I tell you one thing. If I'm ever in my hood and a train parks, nobody gets out, didn't see anybody get out, and there's a freezer in it, and it's running, who left it there? I don't know.
And that's a wrap. Hope you enjoyed tonight's rabbit hole. If you enjoyed this video, why don't you check this one right here. Thanks again. Till next time.